Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. My name is Nick O'Leary. Now, this week I've got something very, very rare indeed to share with you all. Now, Mercedes-Benz, of course, known for their luxury models, and in the UK starting from about £25,000 brand new. What happens if you spend 8 times that amount? I'm glad you asked. Let me show you. This is the Mercedes-Maybach GLS 600, and starting from £165,000, it's a head turner for sure. Now this one, if I'm not mistaken, has every option ticked, totalling the on-the-road price of £206,000. So today, let's run through the top 10 things you need to know about a Mercedes-Maybach GLS. So then guys, what is Mercedes-Maybach? Well, quite simply, Daimler, who own Mercedes-Benz, also owns some sub-brands as well. So these can include Mercedes-AMG, if you fancied a very high-performing car, and sometimes the fastest and noisiest cars found in a Mercedes-Benz. Then we've got Mercedes EQ, which seems to be where it's all going all electric. So that's the Mercedes EQ range. Then there's the Smart range, or also known as smart cars, in a 4.2 and 4.4. These are kind of very small electric cars designed for urban city driving. But then on the opposite end of the scale is the Mercedes-Maybach. So when it comes to one of these, Maybach hold nothing back. Expect first-class attention to detail across every single inch of the car, whether it be from the front, the reclining seats, or even the mats and the sheer number of badges on the car. And speaking of the badges, I've just spent a few minutes just going around and counting them all, and I'm pretty sure I just counted 29 of these. So as if the big Mercedes-Benz badge and the Maybach badge on the front weren't enough, the Maybach symbol, there's about 29 of them on this car alone, which is just insane. So I guess to shout out to everyone what you drive and what you own, what better way to do it, I guess. These can be found on the rear quarters, the pedals themselves, the touchpad, the screens, oh, and on the electric running boards. Oh, did I not mention this car also has electric running boards? Yes, this has electrically extending running boards. So, as long as it's enabled on the multimedia system, when you unlock and open the door, they'll present themselves just like this. Oh, and of course, a Maybach logo on there for good measure. And then as soon as you've hopped in and let the car do the soft close on the door, they'll automatically extend back in the way they were before. Now when it comes to a Maybach, the rear of the car is of course the most impressive part of it. Even if you notice on the running boards are actually thicker at the rear of them, because the rear passengers and their experience is the most important aspect of a Maybach. Now, as I mentioned earlier, when it comes to the level and attention to detail that a Maybach has, it's insane. Aside from all the badges and logos everywhere, I mean, just look at the mats. They've got like a high-piled kind of carpets. They're just something that I'd find in like a luxury home. So not any of these thin mats that you'd normally see in a car. When it comes to your experience on the road, of course, you're greeted by these 2 rear screens, and there's also a tablet in here as well, which allows you to control many aspects of the car. Now, of course, up front is MBUX. MBUX is the latest multimedia system by Mercedes-Benz, but this is extended to the rear of the car, so you can literally go on here and control the sat-nav all from the back. I guess maybe not even talking to the driver up front, which is quite interesting. So yeah, you can go on here and just literally pop in on the destination where you'd want to go, and yeah, I guess your driver would take you there. Tapping the home button, of course, yeah, you've got your sat nav here, then you've got the radio functions, media functions, and then comfort functions to go through things like the ambient lighting. And yes, as you've seen, there is a full array of ambient lighting, and I haven't actually noticed before in any other Mercedes, but it's all up on the top here as well. behind the speakers, in the footwells, behind the seats, under here, behind me. It's literally everywhere. It looks absolutely stunning. Now, of course, with Maybach Experience, on that same comfort menu where you can control all that ambient lighting, there are massage functions, which is insane. So I can do a hot relaxing back massage, a hot relaxing shoulder, activating massage, classic massage, mobilizing massage, and an active workout backrest as well. Just so many to choose from. And then if I go to seat comfort, you can control all the seat settings on here. Of course, memory 1 and 2, but you know, you can virtually almost go to sleep in these. You can lay down and adjust the seat to have a quick nap while your driver's taking you somewhere. Seat climate control, seat ventilation, heated seats. Oh, and as well, this is really cool. When you put the heated seats on, it also heats the panels up as well. So in the middle of the car, you've got your kind of center armrest, and here, when you put heated seats on, it heats these up as well. So literally everything you touch is like super warm. It's just crazy. So let's see what we got after this. So we got lumbar adjustment, so typical where it inflates the lower portion of the seat. Side bolsters, you usually only get that on sports cars on the front. Side bolsters are the ones where they kind of hug your kidneys, so you can increase. Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah, that doesn't take long to inflate. Sunblinds. Now, usually you'll find this on an S-Class. So sunblinds being all the blinds you see on the windows. So for example, if I tap this one, you have blinds just come out of nowhere. So you can get a nice bit of sleep. Now there are blinds for the roof as well, and blinds for the windows on the other side. So oh, and you've noticed there's a little mini one at the back here as well, which has come across as well. So let's tap him and bring him back down. Amazing. Now, of course, this is literally just this screen here. There's also a browser on here, so you can browse the internet. Of course, you would need to subscribe to this through Mercedes-Me. And there's also HDMI as well, so there'll be a little HDMI port on one of the sides where you can plug certain devices in and obviously play music or videos or movies and things on the screen. Now, of course, this is just literally everything on this screen, but then there's a little tablet in the middle as well, and no, you don't have to operate it from here. You can tap the eject button and you get the nice little Samsung tablet to go with the car as well, which is included. Looks like it's virtually the same as on here, but there's also a remote control button on here, and I can literally control the screen in front from here, so full control. And oh yeah, now I can do this screen over here on the left, swipe left and right here, and then I can do this one as well, just in case you don't want to lean forward. You can just do it from here. So it's crazy the level of attention to detail that you have in one of these. Let's pop him back in there for now. Now, of course, it's not all about the rear screens. This car has some very, very unique features. There's a wireless charger just here, front and centre. And then in here, some very, very clever tech. So there are cup holders. There's a small one and a large one, just in case on the size of your beverage, I guess. And then there's a button here where you can tap it and it will make the cup holder cool. Tap it again and it will go red to keep it nice and warm. So a heated and cooled cup holder. And yeah, I guess if you want to keep like a warm drink like a coffee, I wouldn't have a coffee in here with everything being white, but yeah, the nice heated and cooled cup holders. And just here as well, if you purchase some champagne glasses, the car can actually clamp them together to stop them from kind of spilling or rolling over. And speaking of the champagne, in here there is a fridge literally for champagne. So it's not for sandwiches or anything like that. If I open this up here, we've got a couple of compartments just here, but then in here there is a dedicated fridge just down in here, so you can literally, I think it holds maybe 3 champagne bottles in there, so either 2 or 3, but yeah, there's a dedicated fridge in the back of here. Again, different temperature adjustments on here that you can do, but yeah, all about that luxury lifestyle. So let's pop that back up in here and secure him back. And look, there's another Maybach logo just there, just like I mentioned earlier. So one very unique thing on the Mercedes-Maybach GLS 600 is a thing called the off-road assist or free driving mode. And basically what this is, it's a thing that helps free you if you're stuck doing some off-roading. Now, I don't know anyone who's going to do any off-roading in a car like this, but if you do, and you do get stuck, you can enable this thing and it might help you get out of that sticky situation you're in. But a lot of people online have just been kind of showing off and kind of showing what it can do. I'm just going to show you what it does. So if I enable this, oh, here we go. And you'll see now the car will move up and down to get you out of that situation. And oh my god, it's just such a weird sensation. It's so weird. My god. Right, I'm gonna hit the stop button here. There we go. Jeez. So I've never been in a car like that before. That's very, very strange. Let's press it again. Free driving mode for improved starting characteristics on sand, snow or loose surfaces. It's so... I don't know if you can see on camera, it moves so much. It's like, my god. It's so weird. My god. Okay, I'm going to hit stop. And then guys, when we get onto the engine of a Mercedes-Maybach, they are very, very powerful. They're not as noisy as like a C63 or a GLC 63, because remember, it's aimed at the luxury kind of side of things. So you've got all that power, it sounds good, but it's just not going to crackle and popple as much as some of the others. So let's have a look. So as I said, it's 557 horsepower and also features a thing called mild hybrid. So it features an extra 22 horsepower of electric, roughly around about 200 Newton meters as well to aid in that acceleration. And yes, I have just noticed there is another Mercedes-Maybach badge here, which I didn't count earlier. I didn't realise there was one under here. So that means there's 30 on this car. Now also with the paints, when it comes to the colour options, the Maybach also features two-tone paints. So you can get this in a Cavernite blue and high-tech silver colour, obsidian black and rubellite red colour, obsidian black Designo Kalahari gold metallic, emerald green and Mojave, high-tech silver and diamond white, and high-tech silver and selenite grey. And there we go guys, that concludes this week's video on the Mercedes-Maybach GLS 600. Now I am slightly curious, if you were to order one of these, what would be the feature that you would want the most? Let me know in the comment section down below. But again, huge shout out to Sandown Mercedes-Benz, as they provided all the cars you see in the videos. And hey, if you wanted to order one of these for yourself, there's a link in the description down below where you can get in touch with them and order one to your own specification. But guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. And until next time, which will be next week, we'll see you there.